Your family surrounds your bed. You can't speak, can't move, slipping into a coma. Your wife Lucy is crying. Your daughter Betsy is praying. The doctor is frantically searching your medicine cabinet, trying to understand what's happening to you. And then he finds it. A small bottle, dark liquid, unknown substance. Nobody in your family has seen it before. Nobody knows where it came from. The doctor tests a drop on the family cat. The cat convulses, writhes, dies within seconds. Poison? Someone poisoned you? But nobody came into this house. Nobody had access to your medicine. Nobody except. And that's when you hear it. That voice, the one that's been tormenting you for 3 years. Female, mocking, triumphant, echoing through every room of your house, coming from nowhere, coming from everywhere. And she's laughing. I gave him that. Kate's voice screams with joy. I poisoned him. I did it. He's finally dying. Your wife collapses. Betsy is sobbing. The doctor drops the bottle because they all hear her. This entity, this thing that's been attacking your family, that's been witnessed by hundreds of people. That spoke to Andrew Jackson. That quotes scripture and reveals secrets and moves objects and slaps people with invisible hands. She's confessing, celebrating, gloating over your murder. You die the next day, December 20th, 1820, and at your funeral, Kate sings, loud, disrespectful, mocking hymns, celebrating your death in front of the entire community, and everyone hears her, everyone witnesses it. Because Kate isn't hiding, she's proud. She promised she would kill you. And she kept her promise. This actually happened. Tennessee, 1817 to 1821. Documented in court records, witnessed by hundreds of people, investigated by Andrew Jackson, future President of the United States. A haunting so severe, so violent, so undeniable, that it became the only documented case in American history where a spirit is officially credited with killing a person. The entity had a name, Kate, the Bell Witch. And she didn't just kill John Bell, she terrorized an entire community, proved that ghosts are real, and some people say she's still there. But before we watch a spirit commit murder, before we hear Kate's voice threatening the family, before we understand what this entity wanted and why she targeted John Bell specifically, you need to know how this started. Because 3 years earlier, John Bell was just a farmer, respected, successful, normal, and then he saw something in his cornfield that changed everything. This happened, Tennessee, 1817 to 1821, witnessed by hundreds of people, documented in court records, investigated by Andrew Jackson, future President of the United States. A haunting so severe, so violent, so undeniable, that it became the only documented case in American history where a spirit is officially credited with killing a person. The entity had a name, Kate, the Bell Witch, and she kept her promise. She killed John Bell. And some people say she's still there, still in Adams, Tennessee, still haunting the Bell family property, still dangerous. Welcome to Mind Vale. This is the true story of the Bell Witch. Not folklore, not legend, but documented American history. With witnesses, with records, with evidence that something happened in Tennessee that can't be explained, that hundreds of people saw, that the legal system acknowledged, that historians have tried to understand for over 200 years. And by the end of this, you'll understand why the Bell Witch is considered the most well-documented haunting in American history, why skeptics can't dismiss it, why it's taught in Tennessee schools, and why, even today, people are afraid to visit the Bell property after dark. But before we watch John Bell die, before we hear Kate's voice threatening the family, before we understand what this entity wanted, you need to know how this started. Because the Bell Witch didn't just appear, she was provoked, or summoned, or awakened, and it began with something innocent, something that shouldn't have mattered, but it did. 1817. John Bell is a successful farmer in Adams, Tennessee. He owns hundreds of acres, has a large family, wife Lucy, children including Betsy, his favorite daughter. He's respected, religious, a pillar of the community, elder at the Red River Baptist Church. Everything in his life is good, stable, normal, until he sees something in his cornfield. August 1817, John is inspecting his crops, and he sees an animal, strange animal, body of a dog, head of a rabbit, sitting in the corn rows, staring at him. He's disturbed, shoots at it, misses. The creature runs, disappears, and John thinks nothing of it. Just a weird dog, deformed animal, nothing supernatural, just strange. That night, the noises start. Scratching on the outside of the house, like something trying to get in, clawing at the walls, the windows, the doors. John investigates, sees nothing. The scratching stops. He goes back to bed. The scratching resumes all night, every night. Scratching, tapping, knocking. Something outside trying to get inside. Then the sounds move indoors. Rats in the walls. That's what John thinks. Scratching inside the walls, gnawing, chewing. He checks for rats, finds nothing. But the sounds continue, getting louder, more aggressive, and then new sounds. Chains dragging across floors, heavy footsteps, voices whispering. The family can't sleep, can't rest. Every night, the sounds get worse. John tries to ignore it, doesn't tell anyone outside the family, doesn't want people thinking he's crazy, that his house is haunted. This is 1817. He's a church elder, a respected man. He can't admit that something supernatural is happening. So the family suffers in silence, endures the nightly torment, hopes it will stop. But it doesn't stop. It escalates. The sounds become violent, banging, crashing, like furniture being thrown, but nothing is moved, nothing is broken, just the sounds. The family huddles together at night, terrified, praying, and then one night, the entity attacks. Betsy Bell, John's daughter, 12 years old, she's in bed, and something pulls her hair, hard, violent. She screams. Her mother runs in, sees Betsy's hair being yanked up by nothing, by invisible hands. Betsy is crying, screaming, and the attack stops. Her hair falls, red marks on her scalp where something grabbed her, pulled her. But nothing is there, nothing visible, nothing they can fight. The attacks on Betsy continue every night. Hair pulling, slapping, pinching, scratches appearing on her skin from nothing, from air, from something they can't see. And Betsy starts having seizures, convulsions, fainting spells. The family is desperate, terrified, and John Bell finally admits they need help. Tells his neighbor, James Johnston, and James doesn't laugh, doesn't dismiss it. He says he'll come spend the night, see for himself. James Johnston arrives, skeptical but supportive. He's known John for years, knows he's not crazy, not prone to superstition. So if John says something is happening, James will investigate. They go to bed, and James is woken by something hitting him, slapping him. He lights a candle, no one is there, but the slapping continues on his face, his arms, like invisible hands attacking him, and he hears it, A voice, female, laughing, mocking him, saying, "I'm here, I'm real, and you can't stop me." James is terrified, believes, and tells John they need to tell the community. Get help, get witnesses, because this isn't imagination, isn't delusion. Something is in this house, something real, something that can hurt people. And word spreads. The Bell family is haunted by a spirit, an entity, something that can speak, attack, manifest, and people come to see, to witness, to help if they can. And the entity loves the attention, starts performing, talking to visitors, answering questions, telling secrets, revealing information she shouldn't know, private conversations, hidden sins, affairs, lies. She knows everything about everyone, and she tells it publicly, loudly, destroying reputations, ruining lives, and people are terrified. Because how does she know? How can a spirit have this information? How is this possible? The entity gives herself a name, Kate, later called Kate Batts's Witch, or just the Bell Witch. And Kate has opinions, hates John Bell, says she's going to kill him, torments him daily, slaps him, chokes him, makes him sick. He develops a facial twitch, tremors, weakness. His health deteriorates. And Kate laughs, says it's working, says he's dying slowly, just as she promised. But Kate likes some people, loves Lucy, John's wife, calls her Luce, brings her fruit, nuts, treats that appear from nowhere, sings to her, comforts her. Lucy is the only one Kate treats kindly, and Kate loves religion, quotes scripture perfectly, sermons, long passages, word for word, attends church services. Her voice heard from the rafters during hymns, singing, harmonizing, disturbing the congregation, but never during the sermon. Kate respects preaching, listens quietly, comments afterward on the quality of the message. People come from all over Tennessee to witness the Bell Witch, to hear her speak, to test her, to try to prove she's a hoax. And Kate answers every challenge, speaks multiple languages, Latin, Greek, languages John Bell doesn't know, quotes books he's never read, describes events happening miles away that are later confirmed accurate. She's not a trick, not a ventriloquist act, not human deception. She's something else, something that can't be explained. 1819, Andrew Jackson hears about the Bell Witch. He's a general at this time, not yet president, lives in Nashville, and he's fascinated, skeptical, but curious. So he decides to visit, brings a wagon full of men, soldiers, friends, people who don't believe in ghosts, people who think they'll expose the fraud. They're going to prove the Bell Witch is fake, a hoax, trickery, and they're laughing, making jokes, confident, until the wagon stops. Middle of the road, nowhere near the Bell property yet. The wagon just stops. Horses can't pull it. Wheels won't turn. Men get out. Push, pull, try to move the wagon. It won't budge, like it's nailed to the ground. And they hear her, Kate's voice, from nowhere, from everywhere, saying, "I'll let you move when I'm ready." The men are terrified, silent, and Kate laughs, says, "All right, you can move now." And the wagon rolls, easy, like nothing was ever wrong, like something had just been holding it, showing them she's real, she's powerful, she's in control. Jackson and his men arrive at the Bell property, shaken, nervous, and Kate greets them, welcomes Andrew Jackson by name, says she's been expecting him, talks to him, tells him stories, private stories, things from his past, things nobody knows. And Jackson is convinced he's met the Bell Witch. She's real, and she's terrifying. Jackson's men want to leave, want to go home, want to never come back, and Kate lets them go, says, "Come back anytime, General," and Jackson leaves. Later tells people the Bell witch is genuine, that he'd rather fight the British again than spend another night at the Bell farm. But John Bell can't leave. This is his home, his land, his family, and Kate won't let him go. She escalates the attacks, slaps him in front of witnesses, chokes him until he passes out, pulls his hair, kicks him, and he's getting weaker, sicker. The facial twitch becomes constant. He can barely eat, barely sleep, loses weight, looks like he's dying. And Kate says good, says she's winning, says soon he'll be dead and she'll be satisfied. The family tries everything, prayers, exorcisms, blessings, priests come, preachers come. They try to cast out the demon, to banish the spirit, to free the family. And Kate laughs, mocks them, quotes scripture back at them, says God can't help them, says she's too powerful, too determined, too angry, and she's not leaving until John Bell is dead. December 19th, 1820. John Bell doesn't wake up. He's in a coma, deep, unresponsive. The family calls for a doctor. They find a strange bottle in his medicine cabinet, dark liquid, unknown substance. Nobody knows where it came from. The doctor tests it on a cat. The cat dies immediately, poisoned, and Kate's voice fills the house, laughing, triumphant. "I gave him that. I poisoned him. He's dying. I won." John Bell dies the next day, December 20th, 1820, and Kate celebrates, sings, laughs, curses his corpse, says horrible things. The family is devastated, terrified, and at John's funeral, Kate attends, her voice heard, singing hymns, loud, disruptive, inappropriate. She's celebrating, gloating. She killed him just as she promised, and now she's satisfied. But Kate doesn't leave. She stays, torments Betsy, interferes with her engagement. Betsy is supposed to marry Joshua Gardner, young man, good family. Betsy loves him. But Kate forbids it, says Betsy will never marry Joshua, says she'll make their lives hell if they try. And Betsy believes her, breaks off the engagement, breaks Joshua's heart, her own heart, because she's terrified, because Kate is real, because Kate keeps her promises. 1821. Kate announces she's leaving, says she's satisfied. John is dead. Betsy's engagement is broken. Her work is done. She'll go. But she promises to return 7 years. She'll come back in 7 years just to check in, to visit, and then she'll return again 107 years later in 1935 to speak to a descendant of John Bell to finish what she started. Kate's voice fades. The attacks stop. The Bell family can finally rest, finally grieve, finally try to rebuild their lives. And for 7 years, nothing happens. Peace, quiet, recovery. Until 1828, 7 years exactly since Kate left, and she returns, just as promised. Her voice heard in the house, speaking to Lucy, to the family. She's back, just checking in, just reminding them she's real, she's powerful, she keeps her promises, and she'll return again in 107 years to finish the curse. Kate stays for a few weeks in 1828, talks, tells stories, doesn't attack, just visits, reminds them she exists, and then leaves again. Says she'll see them in 1935. Says a descendant of John Bell will hear from her. Says the curse continues. The Bell family will never be free, and she vanishes. No more voice, no more attacks, just silence. And the family waits, dreading 1935. 1935 arrives, 107 years after Kate's last visit, and nothing happens. No voice, no attacks. No manifestation. Kate doesn't return. Or if she did, nobody reported it. Nobody documented it. The curse seems broken. The haunting seems over. The Bell Witch seems gone. And maybe that's the end of the story. Except it's not. Because people still experience things on the Bell property. The land where the original house stood. Where John Bell died. Where Kate terrorized a family for 4 years. Visitors report hearing voices, seeing apparitions, feeling watched, being touched by invisible hands. The Bell Witch Cave, a cave on the original Bell property, is a tourist attraction now, and people who enter report experiences, cold spots, voices, the feeling of being followed, objects moving. Some people run out, refuse to go back, say something is still there, still active, still watching. So, what was the Bell Witch? The question that's never been answered, the mystery that remains. Was Kate a ghost, a demon, a poltergeist, a witch's curse, some kind of psychic manifestation? Nobody knows. Theories have been proposed for 200 years. None explain everything. None account for all the evidence. None satisfy everyone. Theory 1, Kate was the ghost of Kate Batts, a neighbor who believed John Bell cheated her in a land deal. She cursed him, and when she died, her spirit returned, enacted revenge, killed him. The problem with this theory? Kate Batts was still alive during much of the haunting. Witnesses saw her, spoke to her. She wasn't dead, couldn't be a ghost, and the entity claimed to be Kate Batts's witch, not Kate Batts herself. Theory 2. The Bell Witch was a poltergeist created by Betsy Bell. Poltergeist activity often centers on adolescent girls. Betsy was 12 when it started, going through puberty. Psychological stress? The entity protected her, defended her, focused on her. Maybe she unconsciously created it. Psychic energy manifested. The problem? The entity appeared before Betsy was targeted, affected the whole family, spoke when Betsy wasn't present, knew things Betsy couldn't know. The poltergeist theory doesn't explain everything. Theory 3. It was a hoax, elaborate deception by the Bell family for attention or profit. Except John Bell died. The family was terrorized. They gained nothing from the publicity, lost their patriarch, lived in fear. Why would they fake something that destroyed them? And hundreds of witnesses, respected community members, Andrew Jackson, priests, doctors, all fooled, all lying? The hoax theory doesn't work. Theory 4, it was demonic possession, not of a person, but of a place. The Bell property was cursed, inhabited by something evil, something that hated John Bell specifically, possibly because of his role as a church elder, possibly because of some sin, some hidden guilt, some reason it targeted him, killed him, and the demon remains. Still there, still active, still dangerous. This theory explains the intelligence, the malevolence, the religious knowledge, the persistence, but can't be proven, can't be tested, just belief. The truth? We'll never know. The Bell Witch is one of American history's greatest mysteries. Documented but unexplained, witnessed but not understood, real but impossible. And that's what makes it terrifying. Not that it might have been fake, but that it was probably real. That something happened in Tennessee, something that hundreds of people saw, something that killed a man, something that can't be explained by any natural means, something that might still be there. The Bell Witch is part of Tennessee history now, taught in schools, part of local folklore. The Bell property is a historical site. The cave is open to tourists. And Adams, Tennessee embraces the story. annual festivals, Bell Witch merchandise, tours. It's part of the town's identity, part of what makes Adams special. The town where a ghost killed a man, where American history acknowledges the supernatural, where the impossible happened. But locals will also tell you, don't go to the Bell property at night. Don't go into the cave alone. Don't mock Kate. Don't challenge her, because she's still there, still watching, still listening, and she doesn't like to be disrespected. People who've mocked her, vandalized the property, trespassed, they report experiences, attacks. The same things the Bell family reported: hair pulling, slapping, voices. Some laugh it off. Coincidence, imagination, fear. Others believe. Respect Kate. Stay away. Take the warning seriously. Is the Bell Witch real? You decide, but consider the evidence. Court records documenting the haunting, hundreds of witnesses, multiple written accounts from people who experienced it. Andrew Jackson's testimony. The death of John Bell with no natural explanation for the poison that killed him. 200 years of consistent reports of activity on the property. Either it's the most elaborate, long-running hoax in American history, or something supernatural happened in Tennessee, something that defied explanation, something that proved ghosts, demons, or spirits are real, something that killed a man and has never been explained. Tomorrow, we're doing something different. 5 true Halloween stories. Short, intense, terrifying, real events, real horror, real people. A Halloween special. The finale of our Halloween week. Stories that will make you sleep with the lights on. Stories that prove reality is scarier than fiction. Stories that are documented, verified, real. And you won't believe how many true horror stories exist, how many documented cases of the impossible, how many times reality proved monsters are real. But tonight, remember John Bell. Remember the Bell Witch. Remember that in 1820, something killed a man in Tennessee, something witnessed by hundreds, something documented in court records, something that Andrew Jackson investigated and believed, something that the legal system acknowledged, something that history records as fact. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, whether you think it's possible or not, it happened. And it's the only case in American history where a spirit is officially credited with a death. The Bell Witch killed John Bell. That's not folklore. That's documented history. And she's still there, still in Adams, Tennessee, still watching, still waiting. And if you ever visit, if you ever go to the Bell property or the Bell Witch Cave, remember this story. Remember what Kate did. Remember that she keeps her promises. And be respectful, because some legends are based on truth. Some ghosts are real. Some hauntings never end. Sleep well. And remember, John Bell went to bed thinking he was safe, thinking nothing could hurt him, thinking spirits weren't real. And he woke up being strangled, being poisoned, being killed by something he couldn't see, couldn't fight, couldn't escape. And his last words, according to his family, he whispered Kate, just her name, just an acknowledgement that she won, that she was real, that she killed him just like she promised. This is the Bell Witch, day 5 of our Halloween week. One more day, one more video, 5 true Halloween stories, the grand finale, and then Halloween is over. But the nightmares are just beginning. Because you can't unhear these stories, can't forget what you've learned, can't pretend the impossible isn't real, not after H.H. Holmes, not after Ed Gein, not after Annabelle, not after Cropsey, and certainly not after the Bell Witch. Welcome to the darkness. Welcome to true horror. Welcome to the understanding that sometimes the scariest stories are the ones that actually happened. And the Bell Witch happened. Tennessee acknowledges it. History records it. And Kate is still there, still watching, still waiting, still keeping her promises. This is Mind Vale, where legends become reality, where fiction becomes fact, where the line between possible and impossible disappears, and where you learn that monsters are real. They have names, they have histories, they have victims, and some of them never die, never leave, never stop haunting. The Bell Witch is proof. John Bell is proof. And if you ever doubted that ghosts could kill, that spirits could harm, that the supernatural could murder, you can't anymore. Because it happened in Tennessee in 1820, and it's documented, and it's real. Sweet dreams.